how to get clients and close deals using content marketing. This is like a beginner's guide. On today's session, we're going to be looking at basically how to, get clients and close deals. When I say deals, I'm talking about real estate deals. Who is ready for this conversation? Shout, I am ready.
I am ready.
Amazing, amazing. So basically, today in this conversation, we're going to touch on a couple of things, right? We're going to touch on creating content. We're going to touch on a bit of visibility. We did visibility yesterday to an extent. We also talk on conversion, right? Because it's one thing to be visible, it's another thing for when the leads reach out to you, you have the requisite skill, right, to have that conversation. That's basically what we're going to be looking at in today's session. So we're going to start from the foundation. But before I go on, of course, at the end of this class, we'll do a bit of affirmation, and I'll discuss about that towards the end of this class. I'm also very excited to take your questions. So if you have any questions, you can drop them right here. For you that are here online, you can leave the questions in the comment section. We'll be excited to take your questions as well. So the flow of this class, right, we'll just touch on a couple of things, then put it all together. The goal is to touch on everything that is required to close deals. Is that good? Yeah, because there are different skill sets. And I'm going to also talk on bad habits that most realtors, marketers, business owners, especially those that use the online space to sell, we're going to touch on the bad habits that keep you without sales. Is that something you'll be excited to know?
Yeah.
Amazing. So we're going to start from the top, the foundation. Please, can I get the board now? We're going to start from the top, the foundation. That's where we're going to start from. Again, if you're watching online, can you see me? You can hear me clearly. Please type 1 in comment section if you can hear me clearly. Type 2 if you can see me, right? Type 2, let me know you are following. Amazing. So we're starting from the foundation. Let's talk about the game. Sales is a game. All right? Sales is a game. And there are basically 2 ways to sell anything. 2 ways. How many ways? 2 ways to sell anything. I call it the push and the pull strategy. The push and the pull strategy. We're going to start from there. Then we'll flow into the other ones. Thank you so much. The markers, please. The push and the pull strategy, right? There are 2 ways. What is the push? Push strategy. What is push? Push is out. What's the technically called outbound marketing? Outbound marketing. That is what? Push. What is outbound marketing? When you reach out, so you push the product on people, all right? That's what push marketing. That's the first way. So push marketing can apply both on and offsite, on and offline. All right, so you can push online. That's what you call prospecting. When you enter people's, DMs, they call it cold prospecting or cold calling. When you call people randomly from the blues and say, hello, Benga, right? Did you get? There's a particular company, I'm not going to call their name. Once you subscribe for their stuff, they will call you almost to glory. If you block one, second one will come. Right? Once you subscribe. There are 2 companies like that. One is the television air company, and the other one is the online sales company. I did not call any name, right? So that is called what? Push marketing, right? So push marketing can be applied online and offline, like I said. So who can give us examples of offline push marketing? As I've explained it now. Like physical marketing, like going to share flyers to random people, those are, so we have understood that part, right? The second part is called what? Pull. Pull marketing. You can sit like this so that you don't have to be stretching. You came early, so sit somewhere that you don't have to now stretch. Okay? I didn't know that this guy is tall like this. Let's go on. Pull. So the second one is called what? Pull marketing. So what is pull marketing? In other words, another name for it is called what? Attraction marketing, right? So that's pull. Now, I'm just giving this foundation. It's not a part of our class. I'm just giving it so that when you're marketing, you understand what you're doing. Understanding is the first place of achieving anything. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So pull marketing. So pull marketing can also happen both online and offline, right? Pull marketing on offline is when you put a signage in front of your office, right? So you're expecting that when people pass, they see the signage, they can come in or pick the number and call you. Does it make sense?
Yes.
That's what pull marketing. Online, can you give us an example of online pull marketing? Content marketing. Content marketing. So when you put out content with the expectation or with the intent of attracting people to you, you see? So you're actually pulling, you're like a magnet, pulling people to you. All right. So again, what are the two types of marketing? How are the two ways you sell anything? And pull. Good. So now when you're implementing a strategy, you know for sure what you're doing, right? Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Now, we're going to focus majorly on we're going to focus majorly on content marketing for the sake of these conversations we're having today. Again, yesterday I said there are 4 ways you sell anything. There are 4 ways you market things, right? I said paid adverts online. I'm talking of online now. Paid advertising, content marketing, one-on-one, like inbox marketing, etc. Or when you do bulk SMS, like you're putting out messages to people. And the last one is what? Referral marketing, right? Those are basically the ways you sell online. So let's focus on content marketing for the sake of this conversation. And in my book, You're Easy to Ignore, I actually tell a lot why I prioritize content marketing, especially for beginners. I mean, you get to a point where paid advertising, you'd need to blend. You get to the point where you need to blend your content marketing with paid advertising. Sure, you can just come and sit here, right? Can you sit here? Yes, please. So that when let come and sit behind him. Because at that point, people now do like this. All right, so content marketing. Now, again, I'm just going to touch on things. We're going to have like session 1 to like maybe 8. I'll touch on different things. Of course, the bulk of the things are in the book, but for the sake of us implementing today, I'll touch on a lot of things and then we can leave. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, content marketing basically is creating and posting content, right? With the intent to attract leads to contact you. Attracting leads does not stop there. The goal is for them to what? Contact you. All right? That is the intent. Is that correct? So, in other words, posting content is not the job. The job is the conversation that follow the posts. Make sense? The goal is what? To attract leads. Listen to the words I use. Who are leads? Leads are potential buyers, prospects, potential buyers, right? That's leads, right? So the goal of creating those content and posting them is not just to be seen. To be seen is the first part, because people have to see you now before they contact you, Abby. But the goal ultimately is to attract leads to do what? So what that means is that your job typically. Okay, so we're going to touch on conversations that turn to money a bit today, but let us get this background so that when you're doing stuff, you understand why you're doing it. And then sometimes that you're very busy and you're keeping to your content calendar doesn't always translate to a sale. Understand this one too, because if you know the entire timeline of a buyer, you have a strategy even till the end. Okay, and what is the timeline of a buyer normally when you're implementing content marketing? The first is what? Visibility. The first is what? Visibility, which is when you create the content and put it out there, right? At this point, someone sees your content. Usually, there are 4 types of content, but for the sake of this class, I'm just going to stick with video content. 4 types. How many? Which are they? Text, video, image, audio, and graphics. So I like to differentiate pictures and graphics. Some people blend it together, but personally, I like to differentiate it because when I snap my picture, when I snap a picture of myself and post it out there, and when somebody creates a flyer, in my opinion, two of them are not the same thing. The goal is not the same. When I take pictures of myself and put it out there, usually my goal is branding. People buy from people they are familiar with. So the goal is to what? Familiarize. Do you get? You feel like you know me. I've walked into rooms where you're Jeff, right? I say yes. And then conversations just flow. Why? Because you probably have seen my pieces of my content here and there. You've seen my pictures here and there. And then you now feel like you know me. So the goal of the both are different. Do you get? So that's why personally I say pray them. Other people say, oh, pictures, they'll say images, audio, video, and text. All right. Conversation for another day, Avi. So today we're talking about video. We'll just focus on video content. Is that okay? For the sake of this conversation. So the first part, visibility, you create videos and somebody sees it. All right. Part of how people see your video is what we call optimization. When you optimize for search, you optimize to be seen. You don't just post pictures and because you're working hard, you just put it out there. No, you actually optimize it to be seen. Is that okay? And there are 2 types of optimization these days. There's SEO and there's what? AIO. You guys know. You guys are my guys. There's now AIO, right? What's AIO? AI optimization. Yes. And by the way, the world is actually heading there. Very soon there will be AI ads. So the people that start now to optimize for AI will win later. You know how you go to search for something on AI and on search on browsers, and the first things you see are AI searches. Very soon, the first page of every browser will be, in fact, very soon it will be AI browsers that will lead, not even all this Chrome and all these things will phase out soon, except Google that already has Gemini. So you see that if you do some search now, it's AI results you first see before any other. That should show you where the world is heading to. So be observant as you learn, as you do your thing too, you be observant. It's how you learn too, right? So people find you. Now, when they find you, if your content, like we said yesterday, is speaking to their problem, they will watch. Some people will, at that point, maybe bookmark your page or like the post or save it. How many of you have saved other people's posts? Why did you save it? If you like, maybe you want to come back later, watch it again. Me, I save so that I can recreate too. How many of you do ethical stealing? Ethical. You just collect small. Chook your name on top. And that's legal, actually. You can actually, it's called expert modeling. You can model people, it's fine. Just don't carry their name too and chook inside. This kind of copy that you don't have sense. All right, so visibility. People first see your content, right? The next thing that starts happening is they start developing interest. Interest comes from multiple. So when you start making multiple other content, so the person sees your content, he likes it, he clicks it. Some people will even go and follow you. Following these days, Sha, is phasing out. How many of you have observed? You view videos that you do not follow the person. That should tell you that one of your core indicators for success is no more followers. Anyways, another conversation. So interest. So the more you make those videos, you start picking interest. Oh, this guy is speaking my language. Or for some people, they just connect with you naturally. All right? That's now where the God factor comes in. And by the way, poor plants, Apollo waters, God brings the increase. I always believe that sales and income is spiritual, comes from God. That's my belief, right? However, you have to what? Plant the right seed in the right environment. You water it with the right quantity of water and give it adequate nutrition. Sounds like a lot of work, right? Yes, work, man. So some people now catch that part now and say, oh, sales come from God. Let me just sit down there. What will be. When my own come, it will come. Your own has been passing you since. You was even be calling your name. Anyways, interest. So interest comes from what? When more videos. So the person sees you, visibility, then he sees maybe a second and third video of yours that still speaks to him, right? It starts generating interest, right? Next is conversation. After they've done it for some time, after they watch the videos for a while, the way a while can be like a year. Somebody called me like last year, and towards the end of last year, and said, I've been following me for almost 2 years now. The first thing he said was, congratulations, so and I see you're doing stuff in Abuja. So in my mind, this guy know me reach out, right? And then he now says, I'll be following you for 1 year. And in my mind, and you're just contacting me? Is it where hunger finish me? So yeah, so they will follow you for some time. Then next thing, they'll send you a message. Or they'll call you, they'll reach out. That's the next phase, right? And then conversation starts. And for me, this is actually where the work starts from. This is where the work starts from. Because your capacity or the lack of will show at this point. All right? And at this point, you're now on your own. I believe that God, like, it's spiritual for people to, I don't see it like it was my effort that people reach out to me. I feel it's a gift. It's a blessing. Because they could have reached out to any other person, but they chose to reach out to you. All right? Now, what you do from there now shows how much of work you have done on you. Make sense? Yes. See, so part of why you create these content, especially to a specific audience, is for a time like this. Because at that point, you have studied the market, the audience, you know their pain points, their desire, and you have been creating content to answer those questions. So that when they now reach out to you, right, you already almost know their need. Make sense? At that point, they now see you like a consultant. They now see you like, okay, a trusted person that they actually need to listen to. Okay? And then next, that now is the conversation, the first few conversations that leads to trust. Because it's okay to be seeing the person making those videos out there, you know, that one is fine. But then when they now reach out to you, the way your conversation goes will now lead to trust. And it's at that point they now try to start making a decision. All right. So in their mind, they have locked you in. In fact, somebody reached out to me recently and said that he has sent his sister my number. So the sister will contact me. And truly, 2 days later, the sister contacted me and we started conversations on a deal. Meanwhile, this person, I'm not sure has ever contacted me before. And because I checked the history of our chat, I keep my history, and thank God for iPhones. If you change phone to phone, your history is there. You know, so my history is there. So I checked our history. This is our first conversation. So how do you even not ask me any question? Just simply hand me over to your sister. And the sister have already. So in my mind, and the sister did not even ask me much questions. She just said, oh, my brother talked about this. I want to know what my payment options are. And then she sent me the form. That was how the conversation went. So in my mind, the guy has spoken highly of me. Makes sense? It means that he has made a decision about me to work with me. So maybe he doesn't have the cash yet. He is which one is not available? Able. A perfect client is ready, able, and willing. Perfect client. You don't want to drop money with that. Right? So maybe this one here is not yet there. Ready and willing. Make sense? So decision, that's where the decision comes from. And there's something called commission breath. I learned this from Myron Golden. He calls it commission breath. When you're talking to somebody with the aim to just get from the person, it smells. Yes. It shows. He calls it commission breath. Yes. And even you, when you're talking to somebody and you know that this person just wants to collect my money, somehow you know, right?
Yes.
Talk more of somebody that is talking to like maybe 4 different realtors that are optimal in their game at the same time. The way this person talk, you just know that, okay, this person has my interest. These other 3, not people now. Those other 3, hunger infrastructure is dealing with them. Make sense? So commission breath. At this point is where you know. Right? And that's why I teach and I say that. Of course, I'll talk about that right after now. But your major assignment in conversations is to what? Is to ask questions. That's your major conversation. We'll get to that in a moment. All right? And then once decision is made, usually payment follows normally. So this is like the lifeline of content marketing, right? Content marketing, because sometimes up until this point is your content that is working for you. That is why I also recommend that even if you do paid advertising, attach content marketing to it, because the strategy is not the paid advertising. The strategy is everything you do at the back, but just scale using paid advertising. Okay? Now, the hard truth is that most people stop here. They just create videos just to be visible. They're not intentional about this flow. Most people just stop here and they say, oh, I've been working, Jeff, I've been making plenty of videos. Go and check my social media, you see plenty of videos. But all the videos I see, you're just talking random things. And how about when they reach out to you? What's your conversation like? And there are 10 bad habits I'll talk about today that stops you from making a sale. Talk about it at the end. One of them is speed of response. The way you even respond to people. Okay? When I didn't have a car, I was just somebody recently. I think it was Emperor yesterday. And I was telling him that when I didn't have a car, when I was selling real estate, there was a day I was leaving Agric Bank here. I came to see my Oga at this Nikon Plaza, Nikon building. So I walked now from here to Agric Bank. I trekked now. So I entered bus. I was going to, I think, New Haven that day. This was 2021. Okay, I had a car, but my car was bad. That time that me and mechanic, I was almost learning mechanic work, because if I drive today, tomorrow I'm back to mechanic. Sister knows what I'm talking about. You know? Anyway, so it always send me back to my village. So while I was at Agric Bank, okay, I entered in Agric Bank, we discussed negotiated price, and then we got towards WAEC, and I got a call. I saw the number, it was a foreign number. And you know how you sit at the back of bus, not these new bus, not these small buses now, it's those ones that used to be long, you know? And so I was at the back there, and then this call came. Hi, Apple, like I told you. And I jumped down. The guy charged me the full amount. I said, no problem. I paid him. I jumped down, stayed under one of those, when you stop at that bus stop, there's this fence where they used to sell shoes somewhere there. And behind those guys, that fence, I just went close there. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Jeff. How can I be? Straight up. Why did I do that? Because sometimes when you're called like that, your environment, the way you sound, and the things you say will leave an impression in the minds of the prospect, whether you like it or not. That's what we'll talk about during bad habits, okay? Yeah, because there are some things that spoil your sales and you don't even know. So, most people stop here, like I said, and it's consistent. Is consistently creating those content that move the prospects through this line, that make people know you, like you, and trust you. That actually helps. All right. So, do we understand this now? Okay. So again, we're going to talk a bit about conversations today. So this is lesson number one. Lesson number one is the timeline of content marketing, lifeline of content marketing. Lesson number two is why realtors struggle. Lesson number two. Again, I'm just going to pick up small lessons and talk about it during the course of our conversation. If I get boring at any time, stop me, okay? You have questions. If you have questions, please, ask me questions, all right? There are three things I will mention randomly. First is random content. One of the things that make realtors struggle is random content. Like I said yesterday, you don't have a strategy. You don't have a plan, right? You don't have a plan that, okay, this is the journey I want to use my content to take my audience through. You should have a journey, right? You should have a plan. So these are the kind of people I'm targeting, and this is the journey I want to take. If, like Jinta and I were conversing yesterday, if it means that you make series, you do. The goal is not just to sell. The goal is to teach, inform enough for them to make a buying decision. See the hard truth. Whether they buy from you or not, you want them to make a proper buying decision. Until you get to that point, you'll be making random content. It's hard though. It is. But the beauty is that value given always comes back. It may not come back from the same source it is given, but it always comes back to you. And I believe that very strongly, because I've also had clients that have reached out to me and told me, call like 3 or 4 realtors that they've been talking to, and say, okay, they've gotten all the information they need. They now want to buy. They now come and reach me. Yes. And I also know that there are many clients that have watched my stuff and not buy from me. Typical example, the ones I know. Typical example, somebody met my brother in the bank and called me, Abi, and called me and said, oh, Jeff, I'm in the bank. Meanwhile, the conversation that led you into the bank is me. He now wants to carry another realtor. Let me not say the person. The person was standing right beside the client. Client was signing check. Meanwhile, it's Jeff that did all the work. So it happens to everybody. Do you get? If you dwell on that, you're not going to progress. Why? Because the goal is to create value enough for the prospect to make a buying decision. So when I started real estate, then I used to say in my videos that whether you buy from me or not, if you buy from me, I make a commission. But the goal of this video is to help you make a buying decision. And I meant it. How many of you can boldly say you can actually tell client, don't buy from me, just make a buying decision? As how now, right? Problem number 2, struggle, and reason number 2 people struggle is weak conversations, all right? And then reason number 3 is no system. There is no system. There's no system for follow-up. There's no system to track your progress. There's no system. There's no process in place. You're just doing random, like I've been saying since yesterday. All right? Let's go to lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is what I like to call identity shift. And this is what I've just been talking about. You are not just selling lands or houses. You're actually guiding decisions. You're guiding decisions. It's important you bear this identity. I am guiding decisions to help your conversations, right? To help your conversations, because your goal is not just to sell. And this is why I prefer, as a personal preference, I prefer income goals than property sales goals. Just what I mean. So instead of me to say, which is not bad, but instead of me to say, oh, this property now, I want to sell out this property, and this is my goal for this month, right? Which is not bad. But if I do that, I'm doing that for the sake of, so that I can put energy in that, on that property. But ultimately, income goals are better. Why? Because prospects will reach out to you. And most of them, many of them may not want that property that you have put your goal on. Make sense? Now, because you have a goal and you are looking at, they say, look at your goal every morning. Look at it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, which is not bad. Write the vision down, which is very, very important. But if you have that thing in having conversations, you're no more prospect interest minded, if that makes sense. You're now that's your goal interest minded. And most times, 90% of the time, you will not be listening to that guy. You're not listening to help. You're listening to respond with that goal. It's subtle, but it's there. Yes. All right? That's why it seems like some people close deals more than others. Because of the conversation, the spirit, and so every word comes with a spirit. You know that, right? You guys are doing like I'm talking. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, please, there mic, extra mic for those online. Okay. Yes. Bye.
Bye. So there's this particular property I'm pushing. I sent out, and he watched. He said, "Okay, let me watch the drive through." He now watched the drive through and saw that the place is very, very, very far inside. Even me, I know that. Oh, this way, but because I'm seeing potentials, I will not say that it's far. So I was not trying to tell him, "Okay, look at this place. Actually has this kind of potentials." And from our conversation, I noticed that where he likes is properties that are very close to
Sorry, you can
express.
just leave it there so that in case I need it again.
From our previous conversation, I know that properties he likes are properties that are within the express, maybe has express road very close to it. So we were not having, he was not telling me that this property is not this, is not that. Then I'm not trying to convince
I know
him.
that's the word you want
But
to say next.
at some point, I tried to, understand it from his angle, and I told him that if that does not meet with the, okay, it's fine. Let's look for another property. I'm not like, did I do the right thing or should I have?
So what did I teach yesterday? What's the difference in convince and persuade?
Convince when you are trying to get somebody to buy for
Because you can
for
have
your
the
own
mic.
reason. Why persuade is when you are trying to help the person to buy for their
His own reason. So I knew she would use the word convince. Why? Because that client you clearly did not ask him what he wanted. And he just felt because you like it.
I knew what he wanted.
So, but because you want to sell that one. Do you get? You see that there? That's a typical example. And if the client hasn't like trusted you enough, he would have just said, okay, I'll look at it. And that's the last you hear from me. He'll just go away. Then he'll go to someone that listens to him. Do you understand that? So that's what it means. That is exactly a typical example. And so strong realtors first understand. Your goal is to first understand what this person needs. Bearing in mind that most prospects really do not know what they want. Understand that too. But they don't know, they may not know on ground exactly what they want, but they have an idea of what they want to achieve. So your duty is to now understand what they want to achieve, then tie it. Like I said, every property is a solution to a problem or a desire. So your goal is to understand the desire or the problem, then tie that desire to a property. Make sense? So your duty is to first understand, then explain clearly. Shoot.
So if the particular property you're trying to market at that point does not, you know that clearly it's not what you want. You should just leave them to.
What's the answer to that? Are you buying it for your own good or for his own good? Are you the one buying? See, that is why some clients will buy something from you and never come back again. Because they will not buy something that they feel like they did not need. Right? And next time, buyer's remorse will not come in, and so yes, you buy for their reason, not your reason. You sell the property for their reason, not your reason. And it's okay that this place is not suiting his goal. It's okay, you leave it. Sometimes you literally lose the client. You know that, right? That happened to me severally. Oh, sir, this one is not good for you. That's okay, thank you. And they'll end the call. That's all. I wrote in my book too. That saying no is okay too. Yes. For me, value has passed. And like I said, value giving always comes back. It may not come from the same source, but it will come back. Some people ask me sometimes why I teach so much. And I can teach people that will use the thing and go and use it somewhere else. It's not my business. My goal is to give value. Do you get? Because I know that it comes back. Do you understand? I've had people coming from the blues and give me some interesting kind of money. You're wondering, what happened now? I say, 1 year, 2022, 2023, I watched one of your videos. It blessed me. From one blues, this kind of alert, it's called alarm. It's no more alerts. You just... I was in a meeting one time and we were talking about big money. There was a conversation we were having. It was a very sweet training we're having in Lagos, in Marriott, Keja. You know that training now? It was a good training, like good money we paid to be in that room. We're 21 of us. Now, while we're having that conversation, we're talking about, it was a financial engineering class. So we're talking about finances. And then somebody asked a question. So the teacher was talking about big money. Somebody asked a question. That this kind of money, they used to get a lot. One woman at the back, she's a billionaire. She lives in Banana Island. She's one of our teachers. Woman has mad money. She now said that, she just said, as the teacher was trying to answer, she just said from the back, there's some kind of money you get. There's kind of money that comes in. It's your banker that will call you. Everybody say, Then she added that you know the point you get to when you're sick, your bank comes to visit you. The branch manager and his team come and visit you. That is the part. You know the kind of part you get to, and then when you're trying to withdraw some kind of money, your bank will be begging you. So, madam, please, let's close the month first. That day, my ear was like... Anyways, so yeah, I hope I answered you, right? So let's move on, right? Lesson number 4. lesson number 4. So lesson number 3, I said what? Identity shifts. And I said that you're not selling land or houses. What are you selling? You're guiding decisions. You're guiding buying decisions. That's what you're doing. All right. And so you first, that's in lesson number 3, I said you first understand, then you what? You explain clearly. Then, of course, you now guide. So when you understand, you explain, then you guide them towards what you think can sort the issues or the concerns or desire that they have. Make sense? Now let's look at content a bit. Let's look at content. So lesson number 4 is the 4 content pillars. 4 content pillars for content marketing. Again, I said for the sake of this class, we're focusing on content marketing, right? Content marketing. The first content pillar is education. So what you call edu content, right? Where you teach, right? In this kind of content, you explain things clearly. Make sense? Simple things like, what are the steps to buy a property in Nigeria or in your city? If you're in Lagos, if you're in Oka, if you're in Enugu, if you're in Abuja, what are the steps you take to buy a property? What are the steps to investigation? There are 3 levels of due diligence, Abi. What are they? Seller, title, and physical. You guys are forgetting. It's not what? 3 types of three levels of due diligence. What are they? The title, the seller, and physical due diligence. Inspection is part of physical due diligence. You know, when you go to the site yourself, and then you look out for things like, this land is not for sale. Or you know how they used to tie Otumoko. You just ask questions. Say, excuse me, why is this thing here? It's important to ask, you know. So you make content like that, you know, to educate your prospects, you know. That's what educational content. So what does it help you do? It helps you build authority. That's what it helps you do. You know, it helps you what? Build authority. I like to say it helps you do what? Eat. What is eat? Show expertise, build authority, and trust. That's what it helps you do, right? Number 2 pillar of content is called transparency. Transparency content, right? What does this? What do you do when you're talking about transparency content? You show processes, right? What is this? I'm not the one that made that. I don't know who made that video around me recently. He said, what you do as a prospect, what do you do on a site inspection? Am I the one that made it? Okay, I made it, Abi. Priscilla too made that video, right? What do you do on a site inspection? You know that kind of video, that process. Or like I said earlier, what are the steps to take to buy a property? That's process. Do this first, do this again, do the like process. You're walking the person through, right? Or stages of, what do you call this thing? Of approvals before you start building. What are the different approvals and what to do? Go to this office, do this, then do this next. You know that kind of video? How many of you have made that kind of video? When a client finishes buying land, he now watch your video to know how to build on it. You know that kind of thing? That's what? Process. Make sense? The 3rd content pillar is social proof. Social proof. And this is part of what we were saying yesterday. Sorry, what's your name, sir? What's your name? Victor. So the question Victor asked about fake it till you make it. And I said that no. And for me, I don't believe in the fake it till you make it thing. However, I believe in BTSs, behind the scenes. It's called transparency content. That's the content pillar is called what? Transparency. It just shows the process in which you do your work. Like a day in a life of a realtor. That's a transparency video. You know how you go, how you show up in the office. I don't know everybody when they reach office, first they do, if they see camera, first thing they do is Meanwhile, if camera no dey there,
Yeah.
they'll first shout. But once camera show, they just walk into their office, they just drop their thing, they're wearing cap, they remove the cap, they just like this. Sorry, yo. Sorry, yo. But you know, day in a life, right? It's a good content to make, especially when you have a busy day, like maybe allocation day, inspection day. I woke up this morning excited because we're having allocation, you know, and so I decided to wear these because it's comfortable. I've not done that kind of video before. I should do it. Yeah, sounds good, right? It's even sounding good to me coming out from my mouth. You know, like that. You know, that kind of thing. It's a good video to make. Why? Because people like gossip. People like they like to see the things you don't want them to see. Eh? Even you. Sometimes you like to even know, show us the toothpaste you use now. You know? That kind of thing. That's why people do what they call that thing, OOTD. You know, this kind of things. Even though some people used to fake, after they finish doing the video, they'll remove the cloth. Perception is reality. Yeah. All right. So that's what social proof. So social proof includes those kind of videos, includes client testimonials. You know, there are some clients, if you ask them, they'll oblige you testimonial. One of my best clients' testimonial was in Igbo. Client refused to show his face, but he said I should make the video, I should take his voice. So I took his voice, I recorded his voice. Very sweet. You've listened to that video. And then what I did was I now did a drive-through around the estate that he bought. Then I just did the voice, I just attached the voice over to the drive. Very sweet, you know? So BTS. So also during allocations, sometimes if you come with your client, you can grant you a testimonial. You know, sometimes even I've asked testimonial for a client that has not bought from me before. I just told him that how did this feel my process from the time he saw my videos up to the time he contacted me, and he allowed to do that to me, right? So that kind of thing is called what? Social proof. People buy from people they feel other people are buying from. Okay. Next is what? Invitation. What is that? 4, invitation, where you ask. This is now where you do property content with a call to action, right? If you're not doing invitation content, then you're running a charity organization. You're doing charity. And when you finish making the videos, you'll now go buy from someone else. They'll learn all the things because you're not asking for the sale. All right. So these are 4. They're like 2 orders, but for the sake of this section, let's stick to these 4 so that to implement this 4, I believe very strongly you're going to. So in a week, it is okay to do maybe 3 educational, say 7 days in a week, Abby. Yeah. Maybe 3 educational and then one of the others. Make sense? If you're doing at least 1 video per day. So blending that will be good, right? My typical formula for content flow is 60, 40, 60, 20, 20. That's my typical. So 60 educational, especially when you're starting out. 20, so BTS's transparency, you know, 20. Then 20 now property video. All right. Are we flowing? Do you have any questions so far? Right? So lesson number 5. Are we in 5?
Yes.
5. Now, lesson number 5 is part of creating content, right? Learn something called batch creating. I call it what? Batch creating. So batch creating includes batch shooting, batch editing, right? And batch uploading and optimizing. Make sense? So you create in bulk. Thankfully, some other platforms now, meta platforms now also do scheduling. You call it what? Is it scheduling or scheduling? Studied English. Anyone is good, Abby? So I can be using it interchangeably. Oh, really? I don't know English like that. I just like money. So, thankfully, most platforms now do what? Scheduling, right? So, YouTube has been doing scheduling for a very long time. But I think Meta now does use Creator. What do they call that thing? Creator Studio. Is that no Creator Studio? No, for Meta. That platform that all your this thing will be there. Instagram and Facebook. Business suits, yes. If you use business suits, you can schedule and you know. So batch creating. So batch creating is good because here's why batch create. Two reasons I think batch creating will help you. First, it eliminates inconsistency to a very large extent. So you plan to do 30 videos this month, for instance, and you can sit in 3 sittings or 4 and create everything. Yes, it's possible. Very. There was a time in my office we were doing 3 videos per day. Yeah? What? It's laziness that is whining people. No excuse.
No excuse.
So people around me tell me this thing about storage a lot. And me, I've never used past 256 and I've never had full storage. And you don't create more content than me. It's because people used to pack content on your phone too much. What if you create and be putting out as soon as possible? Sometimes you do live too. Sometimes you just create and shoot it there. Why are you waiting? It's just excuses. See, and I'll interject here. There are 3, maybe 4 excuses me I don't used to hear. First, I don't have lights. You're talking to yourself. 2, I don't have internet. My data is finished, it's off. It's yourself you're talking. 3, storage. Or I don't have a good device. You're on your own. Then 4, I'm shy. Go and cash it now in the bank. Go to the bank and say, I'm shy. Give me money. Me? Some people say I'm really hard, but I actually think I'm just realistic. These things do not put money in your pocket, do they? Do you get bills every day?
Yes.
So why are you pampering the bills? Just carry the bills and be pushing the head. Am I harsh? I'm harsh, Abi. You work with me. Everybody knows that you work with me for less than before 1 month. These excuses will remove from your mouth. Before you come to me and tell me those things, you will stop it at the door. It's not me you tell that kind of thing. No. You know, and where there's a will, there's a way. You've not gotten because you've not asked. Let me add here. When I bought my first inverter, 2018, I was talking to someone and I told him that I know that there are 2 things that hold people down from knowledge and access to the world. It's power and internet. It holds you down. You don't know, but it is designed to hold you down. I'm streaming live. There's some things I can't say. Right? So the earlier you sort these 2 things, the better for your life. Sometimes where your breakthrough that you've been kabashing for since last 2 years, every 31st night, is coming, but they can't access you. Yeah. Can't access you. Okay, you've experienced it, Abi?
I was building like things by the grace of God. Because when the client reached out and said, do you have a property here? My phone was 4%. In the city, I was rushing to
answer.
And I don't even have the direct to download it from somebody's YouTube. Anything.
You get sharp and post it, and he paid.
I go that to yes. I don't go and buy
Immediately. Don't buy.
to buy 66,000.
Generator. Power bank that be like generator. You would have missed that deal. Then you now start telling us that, oh my, you them in the bank now, my battery was down, come and pay my rent. If it's to buy that power bank that be like generator, buy bag for it. You know, if I use wheelbarrow and be carrying the thing around. You know, buy multiple power banks, have them, charge all of them. Like, don't be giving those excuses. It doesn't fit you. It doesn't look good on you. And there are some people, there's something called unconscious loss. Some people you tell this type of thing to, they will never contact you for opportunities again. And that one has gone. It's called unconscious loss. This is what I teach in inner circle. You pay me good money to tell this type of things. They are glaring, but we take it for granted. Make sense? Can I go on? Can I continue here? I'm scattering the table, Abby. So lesson 5 is what? Batch creation. Are we clear here? So there are 2 reasons. I said there are 2 reasons why this helps you, Abby. The first is what? Consistency. Helps for consistency. The second is that there is creator flow. Something called creator flow. You start something and you enter the flow. Right? There's a stage at which we making video. That's how you make videos to an extent. You've entered a realm that you wouldn't have touched if you did not keep staying on that thing. Make sense?
Yes.
So why don't you take advantage of that? And you know how, especially ladies, you have to prepare, do your makeup, you know, collect like 3-4 dresses, keep it, and then start making your videos. So you've entered a flow. You know, before you enter the video flow, you usually sometimes experience writer's block, where you're trying to make a video, but that spirit to start it has not come. It happens to the best of the best. Hope you know. Everybody experiences it. The difference between people that win and others is that people allow that thing stop them. Do you understand? It's called the law of inertia. How many of you did science? It's physics, right? Even though I don't even know why I did that thing, but it's fine. It says, what does the law say? It's Newton's first law of motion. What does it say? External force. That happens to every area of our lives. Hope you know. So even in creating content, in doing something meaningful for your life, you're in a rest state, in a state of rest. You need an external force. That's why our soul is comprised of the mind, the emotions, and the will. It's your willpower that pushes you to do things. Your brain, left for your brain, you'll be sleeping all day. Because the brain is not designed to succeed. It's designed to what? Survive. That's all. Your brain is designed to help you survive. Finish. Anything extra is work. You're stressing it. Do you get? You're not looking at me like I'm talking French. So, when you batch create, when you decide to batch create, right? You clear your schedule to an extent. Ensure that you don't have all these meetings, one meeting, two meeting. You know, personally, I like maybe weekends or evenings, sometimes nights. Sometimes I plan my batch creation in the night when I know that I'm not going to get clients call, I'm not going to get disturbance, and I just put my phone on airplane mode and I shoot back to back. Make sense? Sometimes too, it doesn't matter if it's during the day. 2 hours will not kill you. Put my phone on airplane mode and I shoot. How many of you have ever put your phone on airplane mode in the last 1 week? Yes, intentionally to achieve something. You see that many people, what their problem is focus. Do you get? So batch creation is good. It first helps you eliminate excuses. All those excuses of today they called me here, they called me there. Why didn't you just create the video on time? Do you get? So those are the 2 reasons. Make sense? And the beauty about it, like I said yesterday, the more you do this thing, the more you become the person that does it easily. The work works on you before it starts working for you. Lesson number 6. Yeah, shoot. Please bring mine for her. Only I came to this class, so people are not asking questions. Please, I like the
Sir,
question. Shoot.
what if at some point, is it normal at some point as a realtor, you've created content and you are feeling blank, like you
Yes.
don't know what
What
to
to
say
create
again,
again,
like
yes.
you need to take maybe some time to study and
Like you don't know what to say as per words, or you don't know direction as per topic.
yeah, like you have created, you feel like you've exhausted.
All the thing in your brain.
Yes, you need time to.
Yes, then you study more actually. Yes, please.
What if you feel like you're saying the same thing? Do you understand?
Yes.
Like, oh, how to identify this, how to verify this, do this, but it's just the same thing.
Yes. So
Refine.
why not mix it up? How about answering clients' questions?
What if you don't have clients asking you questions?
Clients asking questions how?
What if there's nobody asking you questions?
Then you find out from other people what questions they've been asking. The best thing to do for me, if you're starting out, you don't have a lot of content, just model experts, model other people that have gone before you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Actually, 2021, there's a guy called Olisomera. How many of you know him? You will know him now. Symbolic. He runs a company called Symbolic currently in Lagos. Then he used to run a YouTube channel called Lands and Houses. When I started making content, because I didn't want to experience these things, or because I experienced these things that you guys are talking about, I went to the beginning of his channel. This was he started in 2016, 2017. He was serving then. I went to the beginning. Then you know how you go to the beginning of a channel, now put it on popular. Take it to the most viewed, like that, rank it like that. I just copy all the titles like that. Nowadays, people even have chats. Keep it. I didn't have it then. Symbolic is company name. Olisomera is his name. X Symbolic. XYM Symbolic. Copied everything. Now, him, Caro Itoje. Caro, then, what's her new name? She's married now, so I don't know. Her name has changed. And then a few other people simply just went, model them first. While you're making those videos, first you're learning. When I say model, I don't mean just copy everything they said and be saying. Understand it and put it in your words. That's what modeling means. There's a difference in copying and modeling. So just understand it, put it in your words. So their talking points, I simply just understood it and said it in my own words. Do you understand? Do that. Frank, are we good? Okay, so do that and create. Now, what that does for you is you're learning, you're creating, you're putting it out there, right? At every point in time, you have ChatGPT these days. The problem most people have is they don't know the right questions to even ask the team to prompt it. Do you get? For instance, what are the top 50 questions that clients are asking about real estate in Enugu? So they go pick from Reddit. You know Reddit? They go pick questions from Reddit, pick questions from Nairaland, Quora, put it together, give you an idea. You get it's very local. So I just simply put it in the context of my environment. So, and because I'm in the industry, like you're experiencing things here and there, you're hearing client Realtor D will tell you about questions clients ask her, that how do I answer this? You note it down. If you go to people's videos too on the comment section, you see what clients are asking. This one, is it the full price or is there a development fee? You pick it. What is development fee? What are the other fees you pay after buying land? Can you see that? So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, you don't have to. The problem with most people, they are too smart. You're very smart and you have intelligence and it's good. So you now feel like, okay, everything has to come from your brain. If it doesn't sound like you, it's not you, you know? Am I getting? Right. So did I answer your question? So we're going to lesson what now? 6. What did I say it is? I've not said it. Creating what people are searching for. Is this lessons helpful? Are we learning? Online, do you have any questions? All right. Creating what people are searching for. All right. There are 3 sources. You know, I mean, I've just said one. One is, you know, using your AI platforms to research. All right. But you can also use things like Google. So if you go to Google, search, that search part, if you start typing, something drops down. So those drop down now. For instance, you say how to buy land. For instance, you see other drop downs in Lagos, in Abuja, as beginner, as do you get good? That is a hack. With no money. Beautiful. Now, let me even add here. Each of them like that, you still copy it and that paste again. More will drop. Make sense? So that's the first way you get content that people are searching for, because what Google shows, this drop down, are literally what people are searching for. All right. Another way is to use keywords. Keywords like maybe Abuja real estate, maybe Abuja real estate how to, something like that. Mustn't be grammatically correct, right? But Abuja real estate how to, possibly a drop down will still come down. Make sense? So first is, so how to content and listicles, like 3 ways, 5 ways. People search for those a lot. So how to, that's a hack actually for creating content. How to's, like how to do this, how to do that, or listicles. 3 ways to do this. And for some reason, odd numbers work better. I don't know why, but yeah, right? Those are hacks to get what people are searching for. YouTube too, you can go on YouTube, start the same way. Just put on that their search bar and drop down to will come. Make sense? Then finally, which is my favorite, is client questions. That's my favorite way actually. I like to answer questions that my clients are asking or other people's clients are asking. You know, so usually when I see a video of realtors video, maybe Lagos, Abuja, anywhere, that, and one of the things you should do, you should learn to do, is to actually see what other people are doing. It gives you ideas. You're not for the sake of competing or anything, but it just gives you ideas. And sometimes when you go to their comment section too, you see questions people are asking. Right? It's public domain, so you're not really stealing anything. Is that not true? Yeah, it's public domain now. They wrote it there in the public. So questions clients are asking, you try to answer them too. It's, in fact, when I get questions clients are asking, I kind of like tweak many questions from it. So if you ask this, you may possibly want to ask this or ask this too. So I use them to create content. All right? TDP. So the TDP is what you guys here call registered survey, right? That's what we use in Abuja. Nobody says registered survey there. So one day, me asked, when I first came to Abuja, I asked the developer. He told me something, and I added TDP. And I said, what is TDP? He now said that, you know, see how I said it, you know TDP now. So that TDP now go now come with a technical deeds plan. That's the meaning. So me now, I took it upon myself. So if me don't know, we go plenty with that. And I went to make a video about it. Funnily, many realtors that have been existing in that city started calling me to explain more to them. That's just skill. You know? So those are my favorite way to create content that people are looking for is from questions people are already asking, especially clients. Make sense? So are we going to implement this?
Yes.
We're going to implement this, right? Lesson number 7. That's where we are, right? So we're looking at titles that get clicks. Titles. You know what titles are, right? Video titles. And I'll YouTube. Let's say titles and captions that get clicks. Right. Because one of the ways to create content that can get you visibility, we say the first step for that lifeline of content marketing is what? Visibility. So one of the ways to get that visibility is by using the right titles and captions. As a matter of fact, these days, for SEO, for search engine optimization, or for AI optimization, there are 3 things make your video like findable. 3 major things. First is the title. The title. Your title should not be what you like. It should be what people are looking for. And so you embed keywords people are looking for in your title. I'll give you an instance. One of our properties is called Emerald Court. So what typically most people do is, for instance, Emerald Court plots lands for sale. Nobody's searching for Emerald Court. You know that, right? Why? Because the prospect don't even know what he wants yet, but he knows what he wants to achieve. So what will he type for? What he wants to achieve. Maybe C of O land near MNA, something like that. Make sense? Right. So that should now form your title. Am I clear? Did I confuse you? I did not, right? What are the keywords there? C of O, land, MNA, maybe Enugu. Like land for sale is one of the strongest titles. I think I saw your video and what's your friend? Not Dima. Okay, Dima's video came later, but I saw your video and one other, saw that lady, Amara. Saw this video, land for sale currently in Enugu. I think it's topping. You know? So, because me, I do my research. I'm not gonna see what people are doing. People think I know, Abi. I don't know. I have to go and search. So from time to time, I go do my research, see what is ranking.
So what if it's house?
Even house now, if you type house for sale, you see the top.
House.
Yes, I think I saw, whose house did I see? I think Lois video. Is Lois here? One of Lois' video is there. No, it's not Lois. Somebody, you know. So house for sale, these are keywords. This will determine whose video ranks before others. Your video will now be like in 22.5 page. Meanwhile, others are coming first. But you did a very gang video, bah, 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 but they're not seeing it. Does it make sense? Yes. Yeah. So, title is very important. Okay. And your title, you don't use. Do you know that in my early days of YouTube, of making videos on YouTube, my title does to make sense. I'll do something like land. I'll do something like money. I'll put the money, Abi. Money, land, sale, C of O, and I'll use it as title. It does to make grammatical sense. I remember one guy then used to always come and correct me. Welcome. He used to always come and correct me. Hey Jeff, go and look at your title. I'll say, really? Okay, I didn't know how to start explaining to you now because you can't explain some things. Like I said, it takes knowledge to understand knowledge. Make sense? So I'll just say, okay, and I'll end it there. May I know what I'm doing? When they call result, I've sold, you've not sold. Do you want to make money or do you want to be correct grammatically? Eh? The first time I went to Innocent's office, he was walking barefoot. Walking around, speaking one English like that, you know, nice English. He had a Hungarian accountant and a lot of all those white Indian people running around his office, speaking impeccable Queen's English. But who is paying who? So the problem with most people that make videos is that you know too much English. So you want to start your videos with, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever in the world you're watching from. My names are, which leads me to number two thing that can help your video get found is, so before, let's say a year ago, I wouldn't have said this, but now I'm saying it because I think the thing is evolving. The first few words you say in your video must be keyword entwined. Make sense? So the algorithm these days pick your words. First few words, maybe your first sentence, your second sentence, first two sentences. For instance, I want to talk about I'm talking about how to make videos that sell, right? That's what I'm talking about now. So I want somebody that is searching for this to find it. What will I do? My first few lines will be, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to make videos that sell in this economy. I want you to understand by the end of this video how to make videos that sell. Then I'll go on with my content. See what I'm saying? Yeah. You want to ask? Okay. Please bring mic for her again. In fact, I think we'll just leave the mic with you. I'm sorry, Sam, I'm in class. I'll call you. I'm sorry, Sam, I'm in class. I'll call you back soon.
Okay, sir. Like this thing is said now. I think it was Frank that said it, that if you are targeting a particular audience, let's say Nigerian in diaspora, now you're making these videos specifically for them, and you want the algorithm to push it to people, that if you are starting your video, you should say, maybe like you should say that Nigeria diaspora or something.
Yeah,
That
so
doesn't-
that makes sense. But let's analyze it. What are they going to be searching for? Nigerians in diaspora. So what are they going to be searching for? I want you guys to learn this thing. Don't just hear it from me, learn it. What are they going to be searching for?
What's your words?
For instance, how to buy land in Nigeria safely. So you now saying Nigerian diaspora is a keyword. Are you making sense? What are keywords? Keywords are the words that your target market are using to get information that they need. Make sense?
I want to ask you what she
Take the mic.
said. Based on what she said,
Yes, put the mic like this.
based on what she's saying now,
Yeah.
let's say if you check that place they used to write an analytic
Yes.
in YouTube.
Yes.
You know the number of people that watch your video, like
Yes.
US
Yes.
and other
Yes.
things. So if you check, sometimes you see that Nigerians watch our videos more
Yes.
than others.
Usually.
So now I want to our video to get to those
Diasporans,
yes. Now
So you want diasporans to watch more?
yes, so
Okay.
if, not like you are going to use that as a keyword, but let's say you will not be like, if you're in Nigeria in diaspora, say you are in UK, Canada, or so, this property
It's
so
for you.
yes.
Okay, that makes sense, Sha. Because where it makes sense is not for your optimization. It's for when somebody has found your video and then they want to scroll past. And now here, if you're in Nigeria in diaspora, watch this video, they may stop. What I'm talking of right now is optimization. So your titling, your keywords, your description, and all of that. That's basically what I'm talking about. So yes, for the sake of maybe when they are scrolling through, they stumble on your video, you want them to stop and watch, then there's a chance you can say that. Personally, I don't say it. You get, and I think they find me. So, but yes, you can say that. I like to say keywords that, yes, as much as I'm targeting Nigerians in diaspora, I'm also targeting people that are searching certain keywords. Make sense? That's where I like to see mine. That's where I like to optimize my own videos. I don't want to limit it. You may even be in Nigeria, or you may have come back. You're not abroad, but you have the money to buy my property. Do you get? Once you hear that, you just keep it now, because it no concern you now. Do you get? What if you now have the money to buy the thing? Do you understand? So yes, if there are specific videos that you want to make for this specific audience, then that's okay too. Yes. Let's give her the money.
If I understand this keyword, let me now. I wrote something down as an example. If I say, if you want to buy land in Enugu before the end of 2026, is it?
That's the good one too.
And I will say like twice. Oh, just
No, you don't have to say it twice.
okay, just
Don't say it like a robot. The idea is to understand it and flow. Don't say like a robot. You don't say, if you're looking to buy land, watch this video. If you're looking to no now. But yeah, you get the idea. Yes, please.
Yeah, okay, please, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Concerning this optimization.
Mm.
And when you were talking earlier, you mentioned that
Sorry,
sometimes.
let me check if you have questions online.
So one of the things that you do before, when you're creating content, you go back to check what others have done.
Yes.
I also do that sometimes. So I've noticed that from my own experiment, I noticed that on Google, when you type maybe a particular topic, it gives you a list of content that
Yes.
people have done.
Yes.
When you search it again, it still gives you the same content. So it seems like the ranking is static. But I noticed on YouTube, when you check a particular content topic, it gives you a particular ranking. When you search it again, it gives you
Changes.
something different.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's one thing I noticed. I want to know, what do you think could be the cause?
I'm really just hearing this.
I noticed
really do not know.
I noticed that.
Eh.
Yes. So I don't know why.
As I'm just hearing now, that means I will not know the cause now.
It's just
I don't know. To tell you, I don't know. I'm just hearing this actually. Maybe I don't observe this type of things. Maybe I don't observe them. I just look for the drop down, take them and use them. I don't observe if the thing changed. I don't know.
so because why I do that,
Yes.
sometimes I can go to copy keywords from other people,
Yes.
check their description,
Mhm.
check what they did, and possibly copy something. So that's
Yes.
why I noticed that on YouTube. When I did it, maybe the first people that ranked
Hi.
first, third
Yes.
at my first search,
Yes.
I did it again. Maybe one or two persons out of them will not be ranking like the first 10.
Okay.
So
And
I was
again,
a
you know,
bit
there's
okay.
something called cache memory. Cache memory. That's why the best way to do this search is with incognito or clear your cache memory, because YouTube will show you something that you're searching for, you've searched for before. They use your search history to show you things. Do you understand? So if you search for something, what I'll search may be different, but we're using the same keywords.
Thank you.
Is there any constant keywords?
So personally, my belief is that you first create your constant keywords based on your audience. That's where it starts from. You cannot leave it to people randomly. You first sit down, understand your audience, decide on the topics, kind of things they're looking for based on their problems or desires. Make sense? Then based on that, you form your first few keywords. And the beauty with ChatGPT and the rest now is that you can simply copy those your keywords, put it there, and ask it to give you more of this type of keywords. So what I do, I discuss with that's why I don't let people use my own ChatGPT. So I've trained it and I discuss with it. So when I copy that thing and post, I will now start writing. So I want to sell so amount this. These are the kind of people I'm looking for, and here are the places that they are possibly going to come from. Here are the type of videos I'm making. If you see my prompts, like textbook, like textbook, and this is actually how to prompt your charts. Some people are very lazy mentally. They just say, "Give me," it's not giving. I say, "This is not nice now." No, but you give them. Do you understand? So, are we good? Okay, please give them the mic over there so that it doesn't interrupt. So, we're in lesson what now? Lesson 8. We're good with lesson 7, right? Titles that get clicks. I've talked about keywords. Please please don't be vague. Don't just you want to ask another question. Okay, ask them.
Please, when it comes to this prompting of ChatGPT, because I learned something earlier this year. Before, I used to tell my ChatGPT that, oh, give me a content or so. Until I met someone who said that she educated her ChatGPT.
Yes.
So she now told me that if she's targeting a particular, so she can now say, I want to sell this property to Nigerians in diaspora.
Yes.
Give me a content idea that will spur 95% interest.
Yes.
Nigerians living there. So
That's actually how to prompt.
so I learned that
Yes.
and I've been using it. But what I
Yes.
want to ask is there some things that you can also tell us so that we can
Go and pay for chat. That's the only thing I'll tell you. I don't do free. Your memory lasts longer. There are many things now. There's no limit to your search. No. So the only thing I'll now say is just pay for it. So personally, I'm a proponent of paid stuff. Like my Google, my YouTube is premium. What they call that in premium? And it's just 1.7 per month for YouTube. ChatGPT is like 7K or so lists per month. 7 something, Abi? YouTube is just 1.7 for premium. For premium. So no advert. I learn a lot on YouTube. So I don't want all those, you now wait to now skip. No, with premium, no ads at all. And when I drive, if I'm driving for long distances, I learn while I drive. I convert my driving time to learning. So I play things that teach me while I drive. So I play them mostly from YouTube. I don't want interruptions. Make sense? And a few other things. So yeah, the only thing I'll add, and you don't have to do it yet. Learn with the unpaid. Then when you get to a level where you do some premium things, then you can pay for it. The memory lasts longer. So when you teach it without paid, after you teach it will clear after a while. You start training it again. But with the paid, it doesn't clear. And with the paid, there are some back instructions. You know that ChatGPT gives you content that makes you feel good. Whatever you give it to say, great idea. It's not tell you. But me, I went behind. I said, no, mentor mode. I use mentor mode. Hash, don't tell me great idea.
You can say, ChatGPT, I want you to be my business strategy.
Something like that. Yeah. So those are the.
And when you give it something, you can ask, this is not sounding like.
Yes.
It's not like.
Yeah. So all those little things. See, please, let me add here that we have we live in some of the best times of existence. Like the best times, like some of the best times in existence. And what differentiates people that actually optimize these times and others is just mental laziness. People are just mentally lazy. They don't stretch themselves. They don't do a little extra. They're just there, you know? And that's why sometimes I don't rate just zeal as a criteria for success. You can be zealous, but you're mentally lazy. You're not going to succeed. Or there'll be a cap to your whatever you're getting. So yes, don't say, oh, later I will learn these things. No, learn it now. Understand how these things work now. Get into it now. There are 3 things. It's not part of this class. So there are 3 things I think you should optimally take seriously these days. First is content creation. Don't do it. Don't be lazy about it. Do it because, first of all, visibility brings you opportunities that you never thought existed. Do you get? That's 1. 2 is AI, right? Mid-journey, if you can learn mid-journey for video making, for images video making, if you can learn nano banana, yes, for stuff, you can learn ChatGPT, either Claude Chat or which one again? Or no, not DeepSeek. They're the top 3, or Gemini. Those are the top 3 now. Is that not? For text now, like text, you know, anyone you code, you catch wholly well, like know it, reach and ground, you know, use it very well. Don't be doing shallow things. You guys should stop doing just touch. You're not doing, make sense? Eh? So can we now move on? Okay, I mentioned two. The third one, I'll say it like this, and this is not financial advice. Cryptocurrencies, just understand how it works. This is not financial advice. Again, disclaimer. Allegedly. Just understand how it works. That's what I'm saying. There are some people, there are some kind of transactions and money that you're likely going to get through that area. And they'll just ask you one question. Do you have a wallet or do you know how to receive? And again, unconscious loss. You will lose something that you don't even know you lost. Make sense?
Yeah.
Can we move on? Lesson what are we now? 8. Description that works. So I said I'm focusing majorly on where? YouTube, right? Lesson 7 is titles and captions, Abi. So captions is the same thing. So please use keywords and use keywords that people are looking for that particular thing, right? Ensure you use them. Then lesson 8 is what? Description, right? Descriptions that work. I'll just rush this one. The first 2 lines, your first 2 lines in your description is very important. When AI or search platforms are trying to get your video to show people, it's the first 2 or 3 lines of your description that is important. So don't use those ones as introduction. Make sense?
Yeah.
Put your keywords there. And some of your keywords in your title must also be in your description. And like I like to say, add it to your first 2 lines too. Make sense? So do we have any questions here? It's clear enough, Abi? All right. So personally, what I do too with descriptions is I add other keywords at the end. So if you see my videos, check my descriptions, you see keywords. I add keywords, load it to keywords at the end. I don't know if it works. This is what I do. Since the space is there, I just decided to use it.
There's a place for tags.
Tags. So tags, hashtags, they are phasing out. It's not relevant. Yes, we have to be updating now. Just like on Meta, if you're using hashtags, I used to see like you're coming from year 2016. Yes, now those things are phased out. They're phased out now. Let's update. Yeah, it works. I don't know if it don't work. I just know they're phased out. In the age of AI, it doesn't work, right? Those things are phased. See, there's AI. AI, do you know that as you're talking now, your phone is literally reading what you're saying? You know that, right? Till you turn it off. At the late level we are now, all those things, they are. Like I said, your title, the words you say in the first few words, they even work stronger than any hashtag you're using. Do you get? And many other things I have said. Okay? See kind of lessons I'm teaching you guys. Are you guys enjoying it? Will you guys implement it?
Yes.
Don't just learn, don't just hear. What Bible say? Do not be hearer. Lesson number what? 9. Thumbnails. Your thumbnails are very important. Thumbnails. So your thumbnails complement your title. The mistake, and this is what I will say here basically. The mistake, a lot of people, there are 2 mistakes a lot of people make with thumbnails. First, their thumbnails is noisy, is rowdy. All right? It is noisy and it's rowdy. Too many words. The goal of thumbnail, like I like to tell my people, when somebody, what they call this thing, squint, I mean? Squints his eye and look at your video without opening it. You know how the video is there on a phone, mobile. The videos are there, Abi. Thumbnail. If they squint your eyes and look at your thumbnail, can they read what is there? Can they pick something there? That's like an unprofessional or a non-technical way to check what you're doing. Make sense? So that's number one. The mistake some people make, they make their thumbnail very rowdy, very crowded, and it ruins the purpose. I think I now close the door. I don't think people are coming again. It ruins the purpose of the thumbnail. That's mistake number one. Mistake number two is that most people replicate what is on the title, on the thumbnail already. I see that quite a lot. The goal of the thumbnail is to complement the title. For instance, 3 secrets to saving your money. The thumbnail can now be, don't lose it, something like that. Or don't get scammed. Do you see? The thumbnail is elaborating what the title is saying. Or secret revealed. Secret reveal is okay, could work, you know, but you get the point. The point is to complement what the title is saying. Make sense? You just expand and highlight it, right? Without being vague and try to use contrasting colors. Personally, I would say avoid red and white together. Now, this is not a rule, but YouTube is already red and white. So why are you not blending into it? Like, why not stand out a bit? Do you understand? YouTube is not red and white. So, and if you see some YouTube thumbnails, it's not red and white. So just assume there is one YouTube message that they are, and you just scroll past. This is my opinion. There's no. So contrasting colors. You know contrasting colors. You know your primary colors. Maybe you went to school, Nabi. Contrasting colors. You can't be using maybe like green and yellow. Is yellow not a component of? Is yellow not a component of green? Yellow is green and blue, Abi. Is that not it? 2 colors make up green. Sorry, yellow and blue make up green, something like that. Have I forgotten my colors? Just Google primary and secondary colors, and then Google contrasting. Yeah, color combination. I forgot that the king of color grading is even here. The king. This is not my lesson, no. I'm not an expert here. After I go to God's love, he has an account. Primarily used two are nice. A primary color and a secondary color. There's the color that pops, the other color is subtle. Right. Maybe there'll be a lesson again about this one so that we can move on. My goal was not to stay here so much, but learn the lessons. Understand color combination, like he said. So just go and Google what are the top 3 or best color combinations. Understand primary and secondary colors, so I don't use 2 colors that are almost clashing. You know, you'll not be looking like child is playing here. Shabby, and you'll be looking shabby, not be looking classy. All right. So it's important to do that here. Sometimes, like I do, I put my face in some of my thumbnails. Again, for personal branding. I want to get familiar with my face. Get familiar with me, especially for my personal stuff. Right? Another thing I do personally is I use screenshots. If I forget to take pictures on set, like either good screenshots from my video, I use that. Yes. Why? So that the thumbnail blends into the video. That's my only reason. Like, I don't know of any other serious reason. Yes. Ma. Please, Mike, please.
Like you have said about this, about the colors that you mentioned that it's not working now, it's what I'm using. Is it right for me to now start today and change color? Will they affect the thumbnails that I have?
That one has gone now. You just start doing new thing. You have a question?
Yes, sir. So, would you advise using that ChatGPT to create
Thumbnails.
images, thumbnails?
So
Because
I've done it before.
sometimes they'll change your face. You no longer be looking like you.
Exactly. So that's the reason. So why not just use Canva? Have templates on Canva. and just keep editing the template. Like currently on my Canva thumbnail template, I think there are close to 100 and maybe 112, 120 different thumbnails that I have created over the years. So all I do is I go and look for one, download it, and use it. Yes, nothing good is easy.
Okay, from what you said now, like what I learned recently is
Yeah.
if I want to make thumbnails, sometimes nothing is coming on my head on how to design.
Yes.
What I've done is I'll bring the pictures I want to use, maybe the image of this thing, and post it on ChatGPT.
Okay.
It will now give me
Idea.
a thumbnail idea.
Okay.
Then I'll now go to Canva
And now
and
design it.
It's
Okay,
easier
that works.
way.
I think that works. Please give them the mind there. I think that works too. But personally, I just use thumbnails of my past because I like uniformity, right? Okay, sometimes I have an assistant that handles my thumbnails sometimes, so but if I'm doing my thumbnails myself, which of course we try to blend it and make it look good, but that's basically for me, design them from Canva. I've tried ChatGPT. If you check my YouTube channel, my personal channel, you see some ChatGPT tutorials. And it was me experimenting it and seeing, one now made me look like old man. Did you get? But when you have a paid ChatGPT, it gets better easily. Yeah. Yes. So can we move on? Lesson what now we in? Time has gone. No, can I finish this thing? Lesson 10. Lesson 10. So let's talk about conversations as I wrap up here. Conversations. So lesson 10. Lesson 10 will be the real goal for every conversation. The real goal for every conversation, or how to have conversations that win. Either of them. The real goal for every conversation, or how to have conversation that win. The first thing to note about conversations, remember the lifeline of content marketing. The first is what? Visibility. Second is what? Interest. Third is what? Conversations. And I said that's where your work really begins, Abi. So conversations. Now, the goal for conversation is what? Is to understand before you recommend. If there's nothing you heard today in this class, you see this part. Understand before what? Recommendation. All right? Understand before recommendation. That's the goal. Now, here are 5 rules. 5 rules of a good conversation. Now, in my book, You're Easy to Ignore, I talk about the 5 questions you can ask a prospect as soon as he reaches out to you. And the top 3 questions there are: number 1, need. It's called a need analysis. What are the needs? What do you need this property for? Number 2 is what? Is budget. How much are you willing to spend in order to achieve this thing? And I know that some people don't like to talk about budget, but me, I give range. I will not say how much do you have. I'll say something like, for instance, he says he wants to buy and build, for instance. Oh, I'm looking at this place, and the reason I want to buy is I want to build, like, let's say in the next 1 year. That's his reason. That's the why, right? Then I'll say, okay, based on my expertise and knowledge about my city. So you'll be looking at between 50 to 100 million. Does this fit what you're looking for? See the way I've asked it, right? Some people used to ask, how much do you have? Clients and ask, what do you have? Why are you asking me how much is in my account? That's the way they perceive it. Did you get? Some clients will tell you something like, so that you will not give me high something that is useless. Well, of course, I've had a client ask me that question before. That, are you asking me this so that I'll now go and give him? So the way he said it was, if the property is now 100 million, I'll not tell him it's 200. I'm like, sir, like, was that what you interpreted it as? So people interpret things the way, but the point is the way you communicate it is very important. Okay, me, I give range, right? And Normally, stubborn clients that now say, my budget is open. I'll now give you a range. I'll now go and look for a 500 million naira property and I'll give you. I say, this one will fit you. You'll now say, is there no 50 million own? But it's not you that said your budget is open. So the third question is what? I said the first is what? Need analysis. Second is what? Budget. The third usually is authority to make a decision. So I will not ask you, do you have authority to buy this thing? So I ask things like, sir, are you the one buying or you're asking on behalf of someone? Because some people's ego, when you ask them, is it you that is buying? Their ego is to, and I say, do not look at it like, does it mean I cannot afford this thing? I said, yeah, so, but you need to know so that you know how to continue that conversation. Do you get? And that's why some people tell you things like, I'll get back to you. Meanwhile, they now want to go and tell the real person buying. And third-party information usually is adulterated. They'll go and twist the thing and now go and tell the person. So me, if I know that you're not the one, I like to seek for a three-way call. So either I talk to the person or you call the person and put me on a call. So I don't feel like I'm kicking you out of it. But let's have a conversation, right? And if they refuse, which some of them will, you leave it, you've done your part. Make sense? We've even had a client here that lied to us, that is the owner. So during allocation, when I realized that it's his brother's own. It's still okay since they bought, Abi. So that's that. For this conversation, let's look at 5 rules so I don't deviate too much. Let's look at the 5 rules to proper conversation that converts. The first is to ask before pitching. Ask before pitching. Ask. Again, the goal of a conversation is to ask the right questions. It's not to just drop. Somebody say hello to you. Hello, Blessing. I saw your video on XYZ. Oh, good afternoon, sir. Next thing, you go and pack all your archive or your gallery and dump on the guy's stuff. No, that's not you. Just chase the client. He gets overwhelmed. And the truth is, it is you doing the business that have the patience to understand those things there. Hope you guys know that. The prospect, if it's possible for you to just do the work for him and give him the results, it's better. So me, I like to make the work easy by asking you these questions I just said. Okay? So the first is what? Ask before you pitch. Number 2, listen more than you talk. Listen more than you talk. Do not listen just to respond. Listen to understand. Make sense? So you listen. Ask the questions, you listen. You ask the questions, you listen. Don't interrupt. Don't be doing, okay, sir, what if? Okay, sir, what if? No. You ask now. You keep quiet, let the person talk. Sense? Number 3 is, of course, you pause. So when they respond, you pause before you respond. Sometimes I like to re-echo what you said before I respond. I'm sure that we're on the same track. Of course, that one will come over time as you talk with clients. Number 4, try to recommend one option if possible. Don't recommend multiple options. Sir, this one is good, this one is good, and this one is good, and that one too. I just remember this one too. Sometimes I know anxiety makes us do all those things. Excitement, anxiety, And that's why part of my book is called the calm before conversation. So for me, I basically just know, of course, I've been in all these shoes, like I've been at all these levels. And I know that sometimes the anxiety that comes without us being calm makes us spoil the conversation. After the conversation, I say, I should have said, do you get? Yeah. So it's important that you recommend one option, right? That's the point I'm making now. I'm talking about the 5 rules, Abi, of a good conversation. And I say number 4 is what? Recommend one option. Number 3 is pause before responding. Number 3 is what? Pause before responding. Or re-echo the answer before you respond. Have you heard things like, sir, if I get you right, you're looking for this, Abi? If I get you right, just to re-echo. Okay? And then number 4 is what? Commend one option. 2 at the most. But one option usually. And the reason why you're confident enough that option you recommend is because you have listened. You have asked the right questions. You understand his budget. You understand what he's trying to achieve. Then you recommend. Make sense? When you recommend multiple options, 2 things happen. First, you don't look like you even understand what he's saying. 2, you overwhelm the client, the prospect. Are we learning? Are we bored?
No.
Rule number 4. Always end the conversation with a clear next step. Clear. Don't just say, okay, and you ended the call. Okay, what? Clear next step. For instance, you're talking to a client and he says, all right, Jeff, let me go and review, which I get a lot. Let me go and review all you have said to me. Right? That's how some of them say it. Let me take a look at this and reverse. And to ask, when are you going to reverse? Which of any steps to fix the next appointment? It's called conversations, right? So you're fixing the next step. What I do is, even when the client tells me that I'll get back to you next week, how I ask my own is, sir, so I ask something like, sir, can I get back to you on Tuesday or Wednesday? Which of these days work for you? You told me you get back to me, oh. Well, me, I ask you, can I get back to you on Tuesday or Wednesday? Which of these days work for you? Make sense? He will not say, no, Tuesday and Wednesday I'll be out of town. Let's talk on Thursday. Oh, thank you, sir. Does 11 a.m. Thursday work for you? You see that? He now says, no, 11, I'll still be on the air. So let's talk about around 1. All right, sir, 1:30 dot, I'll call you. You see how that conversation went? Now I have a next appointment. Yeah, ask. So usually when the person tells you, I said I'll get back to you, usually, just give me one. Usually, 2 things. Either you don't look like someone that he would have called in the first place, right? You had commission breath. Usually, you had commission breath. You know what commission breath is now, Abi? Yeah? You had commission breath. Or you don't look like you understand him. Or, which is now the last one, he may be a window shopper. The first two is your fault. The third one is not your fault. And like I said yesterday, the 80-20 rule applies, the Pareto principle. But my own part is that do your part. Ensure that your conversation is professional as possible. One of the ways to have professional conversations is if you're lying down. Personally, if I'm lying down, I'm relaxed, I'm not in a very good mood, you call me, I'll stand up, I'll pace around, and I'll try to smile. You're not seeing my smile, but you hear it in my voice. Make sense?
Yes.
So it's part of it. Sometimes you send off a wrong energy without you knowing. Right? Some of us pass our garbage onto the next person that calls us. I can hear you now, talk. Or you start up a conversation and you just say, hello, who is this? Right? And okay, so my name is, and you're very impatient with the person, especially maybe when it's not a foreign number. Make sense? So there are call etiquettes or call, so long as the energy is right, the conversation, like I'm saying now, is right, then maybe the client is not right. It's not ready yet. And that's okay too. Make sense? Can we go on? Um, so let me go to the end and just talk about overcoming fear. So this will be lesson what? Overcoming fear of content creation. This is lesson what? As we wrap up here. Which was one? Lesson one is what? Lifeline. Eh? Eh? Lesson one is what now, guys? Content pillars is one. Those ones were introduction. The first strategy, the two types of marketing was introduction. Content pillars. Next one is what? Next one is what? Next one is what? Four content pillars. Next one is what? Next one is what? Next one is which lesson now? You lesson what? 7. So where are we now? 11. Okay. So 11, I said, is what? Overcoming fear of content creation, right? I know a lot of you here already make content. So, but let us talk about the 4 fears of content creation for the sake of those that have not started or those that, as I wrap up, actually. First, you don't like how you look. You don't like how you look. For those that are just starting, most times, number one is they don't like how they look on camera, right? And to me, I think it's normal. You're not used to seeing yourself on camera. That's all. Number 2 is what? People will judge me. People will judge me. So you don't feel adequate enough. So it's called imposter syndrome. You don't feel adequate enough, or you don't feel like you know enough, And the solution to that is knowledge. Just learn and share. And again, like expert modeling, model other people what they're doing and just replicate it. And the truth about the matter is that most people that even think will judge you do not care about you, actually. Don't really care about you. Them, they have their own problem too, they are trying to solve, right? And anybody, my opinion, anybody that projects bad energy to you when you're trying to achieve something is just projecting his fears. He cannot achieve that thing, or has tried to achieve it and could not. And he's just projecting that fear because he's scared that you will now achieve it. And his failure will not be open. Right? Number 3 is I'll make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Right? You learn. It's progress over perfection. Say it after me. Progress. Over perfection. Progress over perfection. Number 4 is nobody will watch. But that's expected. How many people know you in the beginning? It's as you make and you put it out there, they begin to know you. Is that not true? And I'll add here that sometimes we self-sabotage. We carry our videos and go put in our secondary school people's group just to pack views. Are they the ones that are going to buy the property? Some of them may. But why not do the right things? Use good keywords. Create searchable content. And let the people that are searching for you find you. How do you even know that you're doing the right thing when you always tell people to go and like your videos and go and view them? Now, how do you know you're doing the right thing? Like, how would you know you're on the right path? Do you understand it? Am I making sense? So how do you then know when you go and pack your videos, put in all those groups and not tell them to go and like and follow? Make sense? At the end of the day, you can't really judge. You know how the analytics will show you these people are coming from here, this person is coming from. How will you now know what is working and do more of it? You see why I say most people are just mentally lazy. Don't want to settle down and do the right thing for a period of time. And I understand too that sometimes we don't have time. But I mean, all right. And my rule of making content is you don't judge yourself till you've done at least 30 contents. things that you don't know.
Sound.
If you tell the client that you're going to do something, please try and do it. Okay, at a specific time. You have alarms for a reason. You have calendars. Some of you that carry iPhones up and down, you have Siri. So even if you don't have time, Siri has responded. So even if you don't have time, just say, hey Siri, and tell Siri to do something for you, right? To lock down that thing. Or use your calendar. Set as soon as you are. In fact, what I do sometimes is I attend to clients a lot on loudspeaker so that I can be noting or sending them things. So usually, as I'm telling you the time, I'm going to my calendar immediately to go and put it there. So that an alarm will hit at that time. I said I'll do it, and then I'll do that thing. Because sometimes those little things actually spoil your reputation and you don't know, you know? And so integrity. Now, number 4, bad habit is talking too much. Some of you talk yourselves in and out of a sale. Sale have closed, you now start talking again. Client have said that, oh, this one looks good to me. Now saying, hey, there's another one. He just told you this one looks good to him. All right? Talking too much too is a bad habit. Number 5, too many options. I said that already. Too many options. Number 6, chasing clients. When I say chasing clients, you don't understand how to qualify clients. And those questions I said that you ask clients, they are qualification questions. So by the time you ask clients some questions and he responds to the affirmative, you can see clearly that this person understands what he wants. Make sense? The 4th question, I talked about 5 questions, Abi. I talked about the top 3. That's why you're buying, budget, authority to make decision. The 4th usually is timeline. So I like to ask something like, so if I get you this property, he said he wants to build in next 1 year. So I get you this property that you want to build in 1 year's time. Within the budget, maybe say his budget is 80 million, for instance. Within the budget of 80 to 100 million, can we at least make a deposit or lock down this plot by Wednesday next week? Timeline. You see that? By Wednesday next week. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to see if the money is there. Make sense? I just chose Wednesday. Wednesday is a random date. I don't like to choose Monday, especially if it's a weekend. If it's towards the weekend, I don't like to choose Monday. I like to give a buffer of Friday, Monday for bank in case you have to go to bank. Maybe Tuesday again in case Monday. Wednesday. Which excuse you want to give me again on Wednesday? Do you get? So I like to say by Wednesday next week, do you think it's something we can at least lock down? So lockdown can mean make a deposit, can mean pay off, can mean, do you get? Make sense? Chasing clients. So no qualification and chasing clients, they're like the same thing, right? And so let's bad habit number 7 was supposed to be no qualification, right? Number 8 is poor product knowledge. And this is where a lot of us sit. We don't really understand the product. When I say product includes both the property and the location you are selling it. Right? Part of product knowledge is also the use case. For instance, if somebody asks you, where are the top 5 places you think currently that development is heading towards in Enugu or in Abuja or in Port Harcourt? That's product knowledge as well. Hope you know. It means that you understand your market. So the market is part of product knowledge. Where are the top 10 places that people are likely looking for rental now? That's product knowledge. Make sense? So when some people hear product knowledge, you just imagine you're talking about the property, just the estate or just the stuff. Make sense? So poor product knowledge is part of number 9, no follow-up. And then number 10, you don't have a system. Okay? All right. So with this, we'll come to the end of today. Yes, question. Mike, please. We're going to shortly do an affirmation because I said that I've stretched people 2 hours of talking. People are exhausted, have you? Does that end the value of your time?
Yes, sir.
Was this worth it?
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if this is part of the class, but it's a personal question.
Shoot.
There's sometimes as a realtor, you are doing everything that you think is necessary for you to do. But there comes a time where the market is silence and nothing is happening at that point. And maybe you get, I don't know whether to say emotional, or you get tired, or you don't really have the zeal to
Push again.
push it again. How do you handle that situation?
So now you either do your business emotionally with a system, or you systemize it. Everybody experiences down times. Do you know when it started? Right from the Bible days. 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. No be today. So it's not unique to you. Please give them a mind. Right? It's not unique to you. How many of us are Christians here? I mean, some people can be. What did Joseph do? He systemized the process. Most times we give up or we get sentimental and emotional because we don't have a system. You just wake up and anyhow your emotions feel that day. That's how that day will go. Forgetting that your current thoughts and actions are going to produce your results of tomorrow. So that today doesn't look good does not mean that tomorrow will not look good. So the best thing is to systemize it. That's why I asked yesterday, how many of us know what we are going to do between now and August this year? Like whether it's raining, whether it's shining, you have a plan. Because there's a chance that there may be ups and downs, but you keep going. Why? Because there's a system. You don't just wake up and the way you feel is not the way you do your business. Now you don't have a business again. You just have a hobby. Do you understand? Point is, there are good days. There are days that don't look too good. Right? What I do on days that don't look, or periods that don't look too good, I double down on my visibility. That's what I do. Because when the days that look too good, you become busy. Clients are taking for inspections, you're closing deals, you're picking up documents. But the days that are not looking too good, you're not so busy now. So what do? Double down on content. You don't feel like it, but you do it. Make sense? Because it is the activity you do in those not too good days that create the good days. Does it make sense? There's no sentiments to it. There's no emotions to it. That is how life is. Whether there are some people you look at, you feel like, this person used to have a bad day. They lie, you. They may even be the ones that used to have more bad days than you. Do you get? From what I've learned so far, some of the people you admire, if God allows some of the pressure that they have come on you, eh? With the ginger, you too get tired. So another thing is circle. Always be within a circle of very energetic people, positive people. Don't allow yourself to be around people that are not positive. Energy robs. Yes. Energy is contagious. Be around positive people. And what I do sometimes is I go to look at people that win. Sometimes I go to Grant Cardon's page and look at him carrying his kids under his private jets. Scarlett and Serena, two of them. Just watch what they are doing. How he's driving his G-Wagon to the tarmac or his Rolls Royce to the tarmac. Just watch people that win, right? I hear the way he talks. Do you get? You just do those things. Those things can help you because what you listen to can affect your emotions. If you're not going to be listening to people that are saying times are hard, things are down. If you know me very well, there's some conversation you have around me. I'll not stay around you again. I will avoid you die. So these things are important too. So let us do some affirmations. Do you have a question? Online, do you have any question? Can you check online if you have a question? Mike, please give me Mike. As we wrap up, please. Time is going, it's already over. Sorry to have kept you this long. I want you guys to have enough to
So thank
Go
you
and take
so
action.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please, I want to ask based on follow up.
Yes.
Sometimes I think I have these diaspora clients.
Yes.
I recommended what he actually needs
Mhm.
because this guy always wants CFO properties and all that.
Yes.
And then, after the conversation, okay, call me by so time. I've spoken with him, we have talked. And then one of the ways I know about follow up is just to send him maybe an update video of the estate and all, which I have done that over and over. So, sometimes I feel like chatting him up again, trying to call him up again, when are you, something like when are you now paying? Because sometimes these properties they have price review. So how exactly do you, and some persons have taken them they have gone to the estates for inspections and all that. Now I'm now waiting. Like how exactly should you now follow them up so that look that you're actually persuading them and all that?
Yeah, so well, I can give them in mind now. There are three indicators that a client is ready. I say this like all the time. The first is what? So there are three indicators for a quality qualified client. First is he's ready, meaning that he understands what he wants, right? He just needs he knows what he wants to achieve. He just needs to show him something that aligns with what he wants to achieve. The second is what? He's able. Able means that the money is there, not it will come. He did, right? And then third is what? He's willing. As much as he knows what he wants and the money is there, he's willing to spend that money on what he wants. There's some clients that have the money, they know what they want, but they'll rather go buy a car first, which is okay. It's okay. He made the money. It is money. He may even decide right now that he wants to buy land and change his mind tomorrow. You're not going to force him. Does it make sense? So what I usually suggest, that is why these questions are good. Hear what I asked about timeline, right? Here I asked about need. You see why those questions are good? You see why people win? People win because the conversations are right. That client now, there's a chance he's not ready to buy in the next 2 years, but you're following up because you do not ask the right questions. And to you, there's a question online, and to you, maybe you're not doing it right. But it's not, you didn't ask the right question. Do you understand? Do you understand? I know that it looks like the client is ready, but that is you assuming. Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. Does it make sense? So your duty, and when you do this over time, when you have these conversations over time, do you know that my team members will come to me and say, I have this client to ask you, what are the questions the client has? You tell me, I'll tell you straight up that this guy is not ready to buy. Why? Because I've done this over time. And there's some questions you ask, there's how they answer. You know that this person is either window shopping, he just gets gathering information so that when he's now ready, he will call you. Right? Others, you just know that, okay, maybe this guy has money, but he's not really, he's just confused. Maybe his money is not too much. He doesn't want to put it in the wrong place. So he just keep procrastinating. You will take him for like 20 inspections. There are clients like that, and etc. etc. I just think that when you ask the right questions and listen for the right answers, you will know who is ready or not. For me, that client is not ready. It's not ready. So your duty now is to ensure that you stay visible, how he found you. For me, follow up for those kind of clients is how they found me. I stay visible in that place. You just keep seeing my videos. I talked about four pillars of content, Abi. Yeah. Sometimes even when I show BTSs, you will see that other people are buying while you're waiting. Others are buying. When I show site updates, the thing is going. When I show price review, you're there watching, but I just make sure that I'm visible enough for him to always see. I don't bother you again. The only way I follow up is now, it's called value-based follow-up. Promos, price alert, new price alert. You get things like that. I will never ask you, are you buying again? I will never ask you that. No, I can say it directly to you. If this place now you ask me for, and I'm sure this is what you want, has a new price review or an update, right? Or maybe clearing or allocation day, I'll tell you, oh, sir, that property, we are doing allocation today. Oh. I just say, let me inform you in case you want to join us. I don't say you want to buy, you want to join us. Come join us and come and be looking now. Eh? Does it make sense? Please, what's the question, please? Viable. It depends. Eh? There are three ways now. Either you go and buy a market, or you contact developers, sell for them, or you connect with other realtors and ask them where they are selling. Is that not it? Is there any other one? I answered, Navi. Is there any other question? You don't know, you're not a realtor. Is there any other question? All right, with this, we come to the end of today. And we'll just wrap up with an affirmation. I'll say how we respond. The world we build, we are creators, right? We are creators. We are creators, right? We're created by God, right? And whether your God is Hindu or is Allah or is Christian, is God, right? We're created by God. We're created by a divine nature, right? And the way our creator creates things is by what? By speaking them. Okay? So that's why affirmations are very important, whether now or later. I just want to leave you with this, so that as you go from time to time, just like what she said, there are times you have down times, right? You speak what you want to see, right? And it works, right? First way it works is that it elevates your spirit. That's the first way it works. And then, of course, it attracts the things to you. So I'll say some things and you just respond. I am disciplined. Please mean it. Mean it when you say it and you mean it, okay? I'm disciplined. I execute even when I don't feel like it. I do what others avoid. That is why I win. I don't chase clients, I attract them. My presence commands attention. My knowledge builds trust. My consistency builds authority. Every call I make moves money. Every message I send creates opportunities. Every video I post multiplies my visibility. Now, mean this one very well. Money meets money in my hand. You know what that means? You don't run out of money, right? So say it again. Money meets money in my hand. I take money out of money and money remain. I take abundance out of abundance and abundance remain. Money flows to me easily and consistently. I'm a magnet for high value clients. I close deals with confidence and certainty. I do not hesitate. I act fast and I win. I hit my sales goals again and again. I exceed expectation always. Large sums of money come to me through real estate. You can add whatever else you do, right? So let's say it again. Large sums of money comes to me through real estate. I create wealth with every deal I close. Say it again. I create wealth with every deal I close. I am not average. I am not competing. I dominate. The market hears my voice. The world hears my name. I show up daily, I improve daily, and I win daily. Rejection does not stop me, it sharpens me. Challenges do not break me, they build me. I am focused, relentless, and unstoppable. I'm Jeff Anozie. I create wealth, I close deals. And I win every single day. Please appreciate yourselves. Thank you so much. Yeah, you have another person. All right, send me a message. I'll send to you. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy a great day. For you out there, please, as you leave here, or even before you leave, please write out action plans. Don't just write notes. Attach actions to it. What are the things you're going to do today and this week to improve your sales and to improve your life? Is that okay? All right. Have a great day, guys.